engine.
I have faith. Did I defeat you finally?
It's probably the end. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm out here in the FFR shop about to get some work done on this pure stock. And as bad as I hate to say this, it's probably the end. And when I say the end, I mean the end of the season. Let me show you guys what we're gonna try to do. So a lot has not changed here in the FFR shop on, I'm gonna now call it the factory stock. And the reason I'm changing the name to factory stock is because that's exactly what this thing is. Now that Mitchell's Motorplex has started back up, this is actually called a factory stock per their rule book because it does not have an automatic transmission. The reason why I was calling it a pure stock is because at Hattiesburg Speedway, they call these cars pure streets. It is the only class anywhere near us that has that name. And a lot of people don't know what in the world a pure street is. And so I just said pure stock to make it easier. But we are now working on the factory stock, the 004. If you guys watched the last video, you guys remember I pulled the gear out and I pulled the transmission and got the new Saginaw prepped and ready to go. Well, it is literally sitting in the exact same spot, but I do have good news. This rear chunk, third member, pumpkin, whatever you want to call it, I did not take to TJ Pratt with Pratt Racing because I bought an entire new rear end, or yes, pretty much rear end. You guys can see that right up there, I've got new axle or more axles besides the ones that came out of this car. And so what I did is I just bought a complete unit, a third member out of another Ford truck so that I did not have to tear this one apart. And I sent it to TJ. And I'm gonna order all the stuff to make me a rear gear so that I have this one for Hattiesburg if I need it. And then the new one will be for Mitchell's Motorplex, Deep South, Pike, etc. But we have major issues. If you guys remember at the beginning of, or the end of that last video, I cranked this baby up and it is rattling like crazy. So bring you guys up to speed, what I've done is I have taken all of the belts and all of the accessory pulleys and everything off the front because I was in the process, or actually I took the harmonic balancer off to see if the harmonic balancer was wrong for the engine, causing it to shake. Whenever I took that harmonic balancer off, it shook even worse. And so now the last and final thing that I can do is go up under this car and I'm gonna take the bell housing off and the pressure plate and the clutch and all that and have just that flywheel. And then I'm gonna crank this baby back up. If it still shakes, there's definitely something internally wrong with this engine. And if that is the case, it has to come out. So that's the game plan for tonight. I'm actually gonna remove this whole entire front end and get this front clip off of the car so that I can see the engine better. It's nothing but about 20 pop rivets. I can put it right back on. And I'm gonna leave the radiator and all that on, but I do wanna be able to see this thing better and get to it better just in case I do have to pull the engine. Right now is the ideal time because the transmission and drive shaft is all out. So it's just one step closer. So I'm gonna get this front end off and then we'll try to get that bell housing, pressure plate, and clutch off. Just like that, the front end is off. Boom. So I gotta give a huge shout out to Ronnie Roberts Race Cars by Triple B for building my front end like that, because the fact that I can pull this whole entire front cap off in literally 3 minutes is amazing. And so I appreciate Ronnie taking his time and doing his due diligence to make this thing this nice to be able to literally pull the front end off. But now that I have that off, it's a lot more light. I can get in here right up on the engine, diagnose everything, see how everything looks. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna jump up under the car, get everything cleaned up and get everything situated to where we can get under there and pull the bell housing, pressure plate, and clutch. Don't need you anymore. You're a goner. Let there be light. Y'all come over here with me. Alrighty. So the first thing that has to come off is this clutch pedal. That's probably bad. Next is, let's get this bell housing off. Probably gonna have to get an extension on it. Or not. That's one, two. See if I can get this last one without an extension. I doubt it. Nope. Gonna have to get a long extension. Be right back. All right, right here. See if this one's long enough. Get off of there. Oh yeah, got it. All right, we got it. All right, all 4 bolts are out. Let's get this thing off. Silly me, there's 6. Sorry guys, false alarm. All right, now 6 of the bolts are out. Now it should come off. Perfect. All right. Everything looks good so far. Last one. All right, there she is. Good as new. Because it is. It's practically brand new. All right, let's get out of here. I'm hot. Okay, so I can't run it long because my family's asleep. But you guys can see. I'm just gonna bust it off. It shakes worse now. Ready? Well, there you go. You can see how much it shakes. Dang, crashed in my own dang shop. All right, guys, so pulling the flywheel, gonna get a different flywheel. If that doesn't fix it, engine, gone. All right, so you guys can see that I got this flywheel off. This is my last thing to try. So you guys remember, I thought that the flywheel was bad because it had that big weight. Well, now I'm starting to think that I needed that weight. And it was just all in this transmission, which is what the vibration was. And so this is my last thing to try I'm gonna go get this exact flywheel stock with the weight on the back, not balanced like this one, and put it back on there and crank it back up and see if the vibration goes away. I just got off the phone with Mr. Steve Edens with SWE Racing. He gave me some pep talk and told me what he thinks he would do, which I trust everything he says. And so that's my last thing I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get that flywheel tomorrow from the parts house and put it on there, torque it all down, and crank this thing up and see if it goes away. If it does not go away, then like I said earlier in the video, this engine is coming out and getting sent off to the machine shop. I'm not gonna deal with it anymore. So we'll call that a night tonight. I'm gonna clean everything up so that my shop stays clean. And I'll see you guys in the morning. Well, we'll go get a flywheel and see if we can get this thing to calm down a little bit. Alrighty, so it is the next day. I got my flywheel in so you guys can see. I've got a new flywheel right here. Here is the old one, and I'm gonna show you guys the difference so you can see the weight right here, which is the weight that I had ground off of this one because I thought this was the problem. Now we have that weight back on there, and so we're gonna get this flywheel stabbed back on the car and see and eliminate the problem of that being the issue. So I'm gonna get it back on, then cross our fingers, and hopefully this thing doesn't shake like crazy. So I'm gonna get it put on. All right, so I've got the new flywheel on. There's the old one. The new one is in there. So you can see it right there. And so I'm gonna get this oil pressure primed up, and we're gonna hit the button and see what happens. My gosh, I'm crossing my fingers. So let's get it primed up. Heck yeah, good oil pressure. All right, moment of truth. Here we go. Please, God. I'm just asking, please don't let this thing shake. Ignition, my bad. Heck yeah! No vibration! Oh my gosh, I don't see a shake. Did we finally do it? Thank you, Lord. All right, so look, I'm gonna get all the water pump and all put back on because all that's disconnected, and then we're gonna crank it up for good and let it run. Oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. I had faith. Did I defeat you finally? Let's get this stuff put back on and really let it run though. Alrighty, so I've got all of my belts put back on for my water pump and my fan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna crank this thing up now that we can get some water circulating through it, and I'll let you guys see how it looks now that we got the right flywheel, and hopefully after it runs for a minute, it'll cool, it'll settle down. But I will say, after talking to my friend, you gotta remember that the shake before was really bad, but it is gonna shake and move just a little bit because there's no transmission holding it up. It's literally just floating on these two front motor mounts. Nothing's holding it in the back, but I could definitely tell a while ago that the vibration was a lot better in the front with that right flywheel. So let's get it crunk up. success, folks. Sounds good too. Man, I'm tickled pink right now. You're all right with me, girl. You're all right. Thank you, Lord. Man, I thought for sure I was going to have to rebuild this thing, but the Lord had better plans for me. So with that said, all I got to do now is stick that fine, beautiful transmission back in and get a rear gear, and hopefully I'll be set. I love it. Okay, everybody, so I'm going to wrap this video up here. Like I said in the beginning, this is officially the end. And what I mean by that is the end of the season for the 004 factory stock. Even though we got the engine running and it is smooth as silk, after talking with Mr. Steve and a few of my friends, I have decided to not put the transmission and everything back in. If you guys remember, I had a head or a rocker arm stud that kept backing out, and I do not want to risk that happening again. Even though there at the last race, before the transmission blew out, we cinched it down in there pretty good and Loctited it. I think it would be in my best interest in this off season, since I do not have the rear gear and that's going to take a minute to build, that it is in my best interest to go ahead and yank this engine back out and go ahead and pull the heads and get the studs pinned. Some of you may disagree with me on that, but it's something I've never done. I've watched plenty of YouTube videos on it, and I think it would be my best bet, just because you'll never have to worry about them head studs backing back out ever again. It'll be security for me, and I just think it'll be something that I'm to that step to where I literally pull the wires and the headers and they've got to come out. And if you guys remember, I lost the header anyway, and so a collector, I guess that is. And so this is off of my exhaust, so I need to get this welded back on anyway. And so with it being the end of the year, I'm just going to go ahead and take my time, get everything right, and be 100 for the first race of the year at Mitchell's Motorplex in the 004 Eaton Clinic Hatcher Farms factory stock. And so I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope you found this video educational, funny, entertaining, because I sure did enjoy working on this and really, really enjoyed getting that engine back going. And so I appreciate each and every one of you. I know I say it a lot. Even though the views have been low, I appreciate the kind messages that you guys have been giving us on the last few videos. Even if it's one person who comes to know the Lord, or we change their trajectory of their family or anything, whatever it is, I appreciate you guys being kind in the comments and letting us know that, and just blessing my family. So, you want to go in a golf cart?
Yeah.
Okay, say bye.
Bye.
All right. So again, thank y'all very much. I appreciate the love and support that you guys show. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. Remember, it's free for you to thumbs up this video and share it to your friends. Y'all be blessed. We'll see you in the next one.
Dang, crashed low.